Many of us as salespeople sometimes feel unproductive. No matter what we do, no matter what we try, it seems like we're not getting anywhere. We have tons of admin tasks to do, or we have tons of sales activity to do. In today's episode, I'm going to coach one of my friends and clients on how he can make sure his days are a little bit more productive. Hopefully, it can help you as well. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And on this episode, we're doing something unique as we go into these seasons. We're going to have little coaching sessions where I get a chance to work with a client or a friend or a guest, or just someone who's a listener who has a challenge. In today's episode, we're going to be talking to one of my good friends. His name is Andres Escobar, and he is born in Colombia, American-made. Now, his name is Escobar, but he always makes sure that you know that he was never a part of any cartel that you might know of. Andres served in the U.S. Air Force for 6 years, and he runs an organization, a software company. This helps local brick-and-mortar company have an unfair advantage against their competition, and it's very fascinating. It's a very powerful tool. I'll let him talk a little bit more about that at the end of the episode, but you can check it out. You can find all the information. If you're watching this on TSE TV, you can see the link down below. If you're listening to one of our podcast episodes, you can see the link on the show note page. But let's go ahead and dive into this episode. Andres, the big challenge that he's facing when we go into the conversation is that he just doesn't quite know how to ensure that his days are a bit more productive. We've had different conversations about that, but today we're going to tackle one piece in particular. I hope this is able to help you in your productivity. Man, his company's doing well, so I want him to be able to succeed at this because it's going to take him to a whole nother trajectory. Good stuff. Check it out. Andres, good to have you, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
So, on this, we've talked about this topic as you're part of our sales mindset training recently, and this was one of those discussions that came up. So I thought if you were facing this challenge that many people probably are facing that same type of issue right now as we're going through this time period. Many of us are working from home, and it's not easy. And by the time you get done with your day, all of a sudden you're like, what in the world did I do today? Like typically I would get like 15 things done, but I felt like I got 3 things.
I'd be happy to just get 3 things done. That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I've subscribed to so many different methods and ways to do things. One of them is John Lee Dumas, which I'm sure being a podcaster, you know who he is.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur on Fire, and the Freedom Mastery Journal, and you write down 4 things that you want to accomplish that day. And I don't think I've ever done all 4. I maybe once or twice done all 4 like major big bucket items, but no, it's a problem. Like, and it's not just me. I remember working for other people, and my bosses had the same problem as well. Like, they got a list of things to do, and it's like, oh gosh, where did the day go? I remember them saying to me exactly those words. Where did the day go?
It just evaporated. So
yeah.
And I figured right now, just coaching you through this, because the challenge that you're facing is like, you're saying by the end of your day, it feels like you feel like you're unproductive every day.
Oh gosh, dude. And it's like you at the end of the day, which is like 5 o'clock for everybody, common, but that's why you end up working after hours and pushing that envelope. And then, or like you had mentioned to me earlier, like, hey, maybe get up earlier, or, it just, dude, those are the real productive times. Yeah. I know for sure that those are the most productive times, either in the early morning or late night.
Yeah.
And it's like, who wants to live that life that, it's like a 12, 14-hour days? You can only do that for so long. I mean, that's sometimes that you got to do it. Like I remember pushing out a funnel in 48 hours and 10 hours worth of work. And between a flight going from, West Palm Beach to Colorado, I mean, just doing, those 48 hours, and I got this funnel done. But it's like, gosh, I didn't sleep.
It wasn't.
I didn't sleep.
And you get burned out, and there's many different, obviously health issues and stuff that we need to get our proper rest. So let's talk me through this challenge that you're facing. You feel unproductive every day. What is give me what's that describe to our friends listening to this, what's that like? I know you kind of alluded to it a little bit, but
For sure.
that
Yeah.
so to speak, the issue.
Yeah. And so, you get up, you do your things, and, either first you got to feed yourself, right? But then after you clock in, you go in and you're like, okay. And when I say feed yourself, I mean like, mentally, physically, and all this different aspects, because if you're constantly pouring out, then you can't really do much. But so you clock in, and then next thing you know, one of your employees or your virtual assistant needs something, and then, okay, you address them because they need it. So you want to serve as a leader, right? And so you get them what they need, you get them going. Okay, great. The next thing you know, a customer needs something. Okay, great. All right, well, what I can help you? Okay, great, awesome. Because you got to keep the customers happy, right?
Yeah.
and they contacted you. You kind of think, oh, let me just brush you off and have you talk to somebody else. No, let me just take care of you now. And then you have this list. I'm gonna like, I have this list here, and this is actually, we didn't even plan this. I had it printed out,
Yeah.
part of a mindset with you, mastermind, and we put out one goal with 20 different steps. And I'm like, all right, great, gonna get these knocked out. I got 4 things to accomplish today. I haven't even touched it. I
Yeah.
mean, actually, I did touch it. I just haven't finished it. So I got one of them done, and it's like, wow, it's 4 o'clock. 4 p.m. and these have to get done.
Yeah.
Come rain, come shine, I don't care. I'm gonna accomplish this goal, because that's what's driving me. That's what drives me. And I think as an entrepreneur, we're all driven, or in sales, we're all driven to this goal, and we need to get it done no matter what. And so these steps that we've laid out, like I spent time to lay out these steps.
Yeah.
It doesn't justify. It doesn't help you or me, anybody, if I don't utilize that time. I invested already time of my own time and my mindset to do these things. And so it's like, they have to get done. And so
What
that's
if
a big problem. It's like, why? Why can't they just get done?
have you always had this problem?
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, this is when things, I think the one thing that gets things done
Yeah.
is the urgency. For
Mm.
example, that funnel that I mentioned to you earlier, like, okay, great. I is the day before, the 2 days before the event in Colorado. Let me just knock this out now. And you get the inspiration comes, things happen. You're like, okay, I just got to act on this, and let's just get this done. And you get it done. And it's just, it's great, fantastic. It's done, but it's like last minute, just push it. It's like at school, push
Yeah.
it last minute, study, cram, do whatever. Just time to get it done.
How much of your how how much time did you have in preparation for that funnel? Was this something that came last minute, or did something that you knew needed to get done for like a week or two?
Yeah, no, I knew for sure, at least a week or 2 weeks for sure. And I think it's just inspiration. It's like, okay, you just sit down and you're like, okay, what do you do? But when the inspiration happens, most of the time it's like at the end, last minute. Like this week, I actually have a presentation, 5-minute presentation, real simple. I could probably dust off an old presentation and get that done, but I want to do something fresh. So I'm like, all right, I gotta just figure out what I'm gonna do, but it hasn't been done yet. So most likely tomorrow on my to-dos to get done for the next day.
You think the inspiration comes the last minute, or is it that you've conditioned yourself to believe that?
Whatever I believe is right is right.
I know, right? Reality, right?
Oh yeah, I mean that for sure. That's probably a big mindset, and I'm really good at delegating. I'm really
Yeah,
good at delegating things, but there's certain things you can't delegate.
sure.
Some things like that you can't really delegate. And
So
so yeah,
all the things that you have today, how many of those things you have? 4 things that you have on your list there, which is something 4 of your goals, but you have a bit, many of other things that that are in your pool. How much time do you take to plan your day? You
I
plan-
do. Yeah. So mm, depends. It depends the season I'm in.
yeah,
If I'm in a season of preparing and planning, usually I like to prepare, on Sunday for
yeah,
the week. Um, And that's what I did with this exercise. This week it definitely happened because I was like, all right, boom, this day we start this step here, and then we're gonna finish this day step here, and kind of like a Gantt chart. And speaking of which, there's so many tools out there. You're like, okay, what am I gonna use?
Yeah.
What do I use? Is it just an Excel spreadsheet? Okay, but if I use Excel spreadsheet, I gotta kind of create it and make it the way I want it. Am I using like a productivity tool like there's so many, Asana, Monday, there's another one looking at ClickUp. There's so many. I mean, it's like the list goes on and on and on. And it's just, you know, I just need to get things done, results, and just moving forward. And to me, is if I have small measurable actions, like big goal and small ones, all right, just get it done, and then move on, and then next one, move on, and the next one, next. And that's what this is perfect.
Yeah.
The masterminds are super helpful, not to promote you, but just in general, accountability equals success. And that's what we have in the mastermind. It's we have this list that everybody can see, and whether they look at it or not, I don't care. But i'm I'm being out there. I'm out there. I'm in the public just
Yeah.
to be seen. Okay. And then we meet up every week to say, hey, did you get those done? Yes. Great. Fantastic. Celebrate. You didn't? Why not? What happened?
Yeah.
And that's when you got to be true to yourself. And so,
So, of all the things you had on your schedule today, because now it's 4 o'clock, do you mind just running through with me? You didn't hit the four main things yet. So,
no.
what are some of the things that took up your time today? Do you have those written down, or was
Oh,
it?
the things that took up my time that I no, I don't have those written down. That's
Yeah.
a good point. No, I don't have those written down, but for sure is virtual assistants. I got three that I'm juggling, and then I got people calling me to
Yeah.
prospecting me. So I got those people calling me, customers, that I'm actually reaching out, being proactive to my customers, and
Good.
find out, hey, by the way, here's what's going on with this updates on this. But then they require things. It's like, okay, great, let me get you this. Um,
How many of those things are
like,
needed right now, though, with the customers?
that has to happen. I mean, I feel like that, but it honestly, like, that's where I need to delegate that to somebody. Like, hey, follow up with this customer, make sure, take this account, move on. I'm not there in the business process where I have an account managers. I have mostly just like sales, and support, but the account manager is like that super salesperson, that super support person that really, you know shows face for the company, which
Yeah.
right now it's me.
So, but I guess what I'm going back to with that is, so you mentioned that some of these things that the client, you call the client, and which is you should do, and you're building some value there. But when the client said that needed X, they didn't know they needed X this morning because they didn't reach out to you, but because you called. Though I guess my question is it that important to drop everything for to do now, or could it still wait if you gave them expectation for the future?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. The way I work is like, the best for me is like, hey, listen, if I have something in my hand, just go ahead and take care of it. I think it happens to a lot of us. and
it does, and
and I think we have to like say, okay, well, do I need to take care of this now? Like, right? Like, what bucket does it go
yeah,
into? I guess that's
good,
what you're
better,
asking.
exactly. Good, better, best. So on the scale of one to, say 1 to 3, is it a good, better, or best thing for me to do right now? So if I do call, you're a client of ours. I call you and you say, Donald, I need you to, I need some help. I'm working on this document I'm trying to get my LinkedIn, outreach going and getting that done. And you send me that, and I have commitment to Joe, who I have an appointment with in an hour, and I need to
Mm,
prep for Joe. Your stuff, I could go through and ask you, Andres, definitely want to help you. When do you need to get that done by? Because I think you're like me, where I've been a people person for so long. Like, I want to help folks. I want to build good relationship. I want to, and it's one of those. I guess it's one of those curse, right? You like people, and I've assumed in the past that because someone needs something, that it needed to get done now, and that I couldn't ask them or tell them no right now, or could say, yeah, definitely, I want to do that. I can help you with that, but I can't do it right now. Is it due tomorrow or 2 days? I'm like, oh, 2 days. And you've done that to me before, and I loved it because it shows that whether you were helping me with a project or whatever, when just with the review biz or one of those things, you're like, DK, I want to help you with this. Unfortunately, right now I can't do that. Is it okay if I gave you? It didn't lower my view of you. It's like,
Right.
brother is busy. Brother got good stuff going on. Let me
Yeah.
schedule that time with them. I want to get on that calendar link he sends me.
Yeah. Yeah, right, exactly.
So
And I think sometimes we get out of that framework. Like, sometimes we're just in that, okay, let's just get these things done. And we lose sight of, I guess, the core, you know. Yeah, I think yeah, I have done that before where it's like, oh, look, great. Right now I'm busy. I can't. And so, but it's like this. So like you said, mentioned earlier, I reached out to my customers. So it's like I reached out to them. I should allocate, hey, by the way, this call might result in 5 to 10 minutes that I need to allocate for my customer to do some things. And so that's, for example, I had one that said, hey, listen, uh, can you jump on a call right now? After I text them, hey, what's going on with your Facebook? I need to be able to post on there because we post on their Facebook. So, hey, I need to make sure we're doing that. And so he's like, yeah, let me move some things around. So, you know, it just jump on a 5 minute call with him is what I should, if I'm going to make these phone calls, I should allocate more time to to address whatever the problem they have. Is that what you're kind of saying? Like,
yeah,
and if it's like bigger, if it's
yeah,
bigger than that, then hey, by the way, let's do this later.
exactly. And it's setting the expectation. But I can I make a bold assertion, bold
Sure. Yep.
assumption?
Assumption. Sure.
Yeah, I feel that you are doing these things to not do the big thing that you need to get done because you don't
Mm.
want to do that big thing. Those four big things, they don't sound too important then if you haven't made time for them because what are those four things, if you don't mind me asking? Are they
Over
related
here.
to prospecting?
Sure. Um, Actually, I did that one already. Okay, so write out some referrals. I gotten some referrals from an event I went to, so I write out those referrals. I've already written like 4 or 5 referrals so I did that already.
How exciting does that
Then
sound to you?
say what?
How exciting is that to do on a scale of 1 to 5?
Exciting? Not that really, not that much exciting. No, no,
Scale of
not
5
no.
being I don't
But
wanna
it is exciting because it's like, listen, if I don't put it down, then I'm gonna forget, and it's like, oh gosh.
let's be
So
honest with Andres now. 5 being I am so looking forward to this, like going to Disney World as a 10-year-old. 1 meaning I have no desire to do this. It's like sticking a nail in my eye. Where is this on that scale?
yeah, I would say like and 3 is the worst, right? 3 is like that's like you're not even saying yes or no. So I would go closer to 4. I would go closer to 4. Yeah, it's not super exciting, but the part that's exciting is like, okay, touching base with these people again is good. Um, and I'm gonna, yeah, and just set up a follow up sequence for them.
Is it do you wanna make it a 4 or is it what it actually is a 2? Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because the reason why I'm getting at to that is that it seems that it's not something that's exciting. I would have if it was a 4, I think you would have done it this morning already.
Mm.
Do you know make sense on that?
Yeah. No, for sure. And the thing is, it's never done because obviously, like I started the list, and there's more. Like, oh, that one. Okay, great. That one. So it's like nonstop, and it's just writing them out, and then So yeah, I would say for this one, it would be a 4 because it got done. Actually
Oh, you
did get
got
done.
that one
It's
done. You
actually
got
over
that one
here.
done.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
it's
that
got done. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people from the
okay,
from
so
the
you did
event.
get it. So is
Yeah, I did it. I did it.
it was one of the
It didn't get done this morning, but it was done. Yeah.
you have a few more that you have on your list. If you were to do that quick grading of those other, 2 or 3 things on your list,
Yeah.
any of those are what do you rate those?
Oh man, this one I really don't like to do is yeah. It's like, okay.
I
And
love how
it, and
honest you
and
look with
and
yourself too.
yeah, and you know what's so funny? It's very interesting to me is that I had three for yesterday, so I was gonna work yesterday being
Yeah.
Sunday. I was gonna do some quick, simple three, but they didn't even get done. Like they didn't get done. So I'm like, all right, cool. Push them over for today. Get them done today. Um, and then you add on to today's list. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like 8 things. Like I doubled
The
the
task.
list, the
Yeah.
task. And so now today I'm like, I got to get them done because or else I'm gonna be behind. I don't
Yeah.
want to be behind. That's just that just doesn't feel good.
Yes.
So
So my assumption here, my prescription to you, client and friend is one, it's never easy to do some of those hard things, but they're the ones that are going to be the critical piece of moving your business forward. Whether it's the prospecting or getting out to these clients, or some of these tedious things that are, they're sales driven, but it may not be our exciting thing. Is to challenge yourself, because if you don't, you'll wait till last minute. And I've been there, and I'm speaking to a procrastinator to a procrastinator. I've had to learn to push past this over the years. But when you have those tasks that you don't want to do, all of a sudden you tell yourself that you are more productive at the last minute, when in actuality it's the same amount of productivity you would have had before. But it's because you've told yourself this in your RAS, your reticular activating system, or you put in your mind that it's something that I would have that I'm going to be better doing at last minute. It's almost like telling yourself an affirmation, like I work more under pressure. When it's like, if you were to say, the change of pressure to say, okay, I want to get it done, it's due in a week, but I'm going to get it done on day one, it's due by Tuesday. All of a sudden now that pressure is pushed towards that, and you can still get it done. Your creativity is still there. But if we don't do that because it's something you don't want to do, then you're going to wait for a week, and then Friday night when it's due on Saturday, then you're going to be pushing it, and you're going to get creative. But again, it's the same amount of creativity you would have had last Friday. Am I making sense there?
yeah, no, 100%. You got to psych yourself out. The RAS, 100%. The RAS. It's interesting. You know, actually, right here, I had this little cube. It's called timular,
Yeah.
and so that one is like you can actually gauge what you've done. Like
Yeah.
if you're in a meeting, okay, put it so that way at the end of the day you can say, okay, what did I spend my time in and what I did. So there's so many tools, so many things that you can use to gauge it. But it really the biggest tool is right here.
Yeah. And I would just tell you,
That's it.
as you're going forward with this to be more productive, so I would say continue using, even forget about the tool, just use a sheet of paper, just write down everything that you do throughout the day. And then on a scale of 1 to 5. 1, I like doing this. 5, I don't like doing this. And then put what's that activity: a marketing activity, sales activity, admin activity, or whatnot. And then you'll start to see over the course of that week, you start to see what are some of those things that I've been accomplishing or getting done, and some of the ones that I've been historically skipping over that are passing on to each day. And those are the things that you're probably telling you're getting done at the last minute, because they're big things. But a lot of these things that you probably got done today, yes, they were on a scale of 1 to 5 importance. Maybe they were like 2s, but they were, you know, I like to do that. I'd like to go on social media and do a post rather than to reach out, spend 20 minutes and do some outreach to people in my follow-up list. You know what I mean? And I think that's where it comes back to. So a synopsis here, and the tip that I'd give you, again, track your activity. Don't even worry about the
Mhm.
tools. Just track it on paper for like a week. See what you're doing.
Yeah.
See the level of how much you like it, and then see what type of activities they are. And then afterwards, you can start to see the trends, the ones that I don't like to do. And then you can look at it, and you have the systems, the people, you can say, all right, well, I do not like to do this, and it doesn't give me excitement, and I don't need to do it. So can I pawn that one off? Check. And then the ones that you need to, put those first. The big important things that you have on that document that are your critical things, make sure to put those first, because if when it's all said and done, Andres needs to win. The clients need to
Mhm.
win, but overall, you need to win, because if
Yeah.
you're not in business, then you can't help your clients. So we need you to win. And you
Yeah.
put some great stuff over review this, and telling people about that. I have it in the show notes. So I want people to check out what you're doing, your software company, and some of the magic you're doing there, man. So
Thank you. Thank you.
hope that was
Appreciate it. Yeah.
helpful. Was that helpful?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I liked is that the level, like being truthful with yourself, that's super, super important. Like, hey, how excited are you about that that project. If you're not excited about it, then why even show up?
Yeah.
You're not going to show up. You're not going to show up.
Yeah.
And then it's I love that. That's a great level of like.
Yeah. Like,
Never heard of that. That's good.
but I mean, some of the things you don't like to do and you still need to get done, put it first though. Get it done and get them out the way, because if they're that critical, there's a level of likeness and a level of importance. Like some of us may put prospecting at a 1, rather get stuck in the eye, but we might put that how important it is a 5. So I know I need to get it done, but I don't like to do it. Make it happen. And if it's something that you like to get done and you know it needs to get done and you don't like doing it and it's not something that you have to do, that thing should definitely be delegated to somebody else, and save yourself the headache. So, all right, man. So I'm excited. I'm going to follow up with you and to hear about, how you're doing this, and I'll keep the folks listening to this episode apprised of your success, and they can connect with you. But if the folks want to connect with you and learn about your business, where should they go to do so, Andres?
For sure. And so the website is reviewbiz, biz.io, and we have that same Instagram, tag, reviewbiz, and we LinkedIn as well, reviewbiz. And so, yeah, the website's there. We have some promotions that we have going on as well. And, we just try to generate reviews for our customers and help them stand out from their competition. That's it. That's just competition is real, and we want to make sure that our customers stand out and get that desired results of getting more business.
You guys are seeing some amazing success, and I congratulate you. And I know as you make these little tweaks, I can't wait to see you in a few years, or forget about a few years, next year, how you're gonna be blowing sucker up, man, even more so. So congratulations, man.
Yeah,
appreciate
you. For sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Listen, that was Andres Escobar. If you want to go ahead and connect with my good friend Andres, you can find all the links below. If you're watching TSE TV, just go ahead and subscribe to this channel as well and hit that chime button. We'll notify you every time we produce a new episode. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, listen, go ahead and just hit that subscribe button as well. Leave us a rating and review. It goes a long way. That's all I want for Christmas, is for you all to leave some ratings and review on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast directory you're listening on. That goes such a long way. When someone is coming to listen to our episode, they can see that you enjoyed it as well, and they're going to go ahead and enjoy it themselves. Thank you so much. Check out our sponsors, man. They're giving away some great deals, some great opportunities. If you haven't done so already, find all their links below. If you're watching this on YouTube, on TSE TV, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, just click on the cover art and you'll see all of the links as well as the show notes and details down below. Check them out. Tell them that Donald sent you. As always, I produce stuff like this because I want to help you. I've been in your shoe. I know the challenges. I understand the difficulties. I understand the annoyance. I want you to find more ideal customers. I want you to know what to say when you reach out to them. I want you to be able to close more deals. But most importantly, I want to challenge you each and every single day to raise your mindset and to go out and do big things. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up at the bottom right-hand corner. Also, to make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest sales strategies, latest tools, and things that are going to help you to not only find more prospects, but to close more deals. Thanks so much.